Okay guys, we're going to start the teardown of the TS250 today. So uh, just stay with me here and we'll get her done. Don't care for the style of the handlebars on this. Of course, black isn't the right ones anyway. I've got some that are pretty close. Same ones I used on the TS build. Or the TC build, I'm sorry. Okay, we've got the headlight. I'm kind of wondering if it's an aftermarket. Maybe somebody knows out there. It says Xandu on it, Xanadu. The coupling or the connector is missing. They've got it wired, and it's wired a blue to a yellow, a green to a black, and a white to a white. So I'm just going to have to clip those and then make sure they get back to where they go. But I don't think this is a Suzuki headlamp. Anyway, I've made a note of how it's wired now. It's got, see, I don't know if you can even see. Yeah, it's not as messy as a lot of them are in here, but it's pretty bad. All you can do is clip them off and make a note of it. Yeah, if somebody knows anything about that, just leave me a comment, because it just doesn't look right to me. Not that everything has to be right, but kind of like to know the story, you know what I mean? As of right now, the connectors that I'm seeing look a little bit better than the TC did. Not so many of them just cracked and broken and beyond repair. Of course, it is a year newer, if that makes a difference. I go along and take pictures of all this as I take it apart, and it took a lot of pictures before I started the disassembly, just so hopefully you can get things back to where they should be without too much difficulty. This tachometer, when you start it up, it'd go all the way to the right, and I think it has something to do with this. I'm seeing a lot of movement in this, so when I get ready to do this, to do the tachometer, we'll for sure have to go into it and see what's going on with that. Signal wires were all connected by butt connectors too, so all that's going to have to be redone with the proper connectors going back in. It's just normal. It's just the kind of thing that we did. I've got to include myself in there. A lot of it's because you didn't have the resources. All you had was automotive, connectors, and the bolts. All you had was SAE. So it's just what you had to do to get by, you know what I mean? Everybody knows it. But today we take things maybe a little for granted because we can get all this stuff mostly. For some applications, it's harder to get stuff for my old Ford than it is for these things. I'm very surprised. The wiring issues continue. Looks like the must be horn. That looks like it's been redone. For what reason, I don't know. I think I'll go ahead and raise this up. And I want to document some of this, so probably most of it's not right, but we'll get a picture of it anyway. A lot of wiring issues on this thing. Just like the other one, just like most. People don't understand it, so they cut it. At least this unit's CDI ignition. That makes some things better anyway. We just about got all the wiring off now except the engine wiring and the tail light. And I'm sure that some of you really sharp Suzuki people out there realize that this is not the right tail light. I'm not real sure what it's off of. It says 1967 up here, so I'm thinking it's off a street bike, maybe an X6 Hustler or a 500 Titan or something like that, maybe. But I found one, so we should be good to go. Let's see here. I think before I take the wheel off, I better get the skid plate off so I can get the engine out. Yeah, if anybody knows what that tail light fits, drop me a comment or something down in the comment section. Would appreciate it. Okay, let's go around the other side here for a bit. These are built a lot tougher, I think, in the clutch area than the smaller bikes. One good thing that I'm noticing is that I don't have any broken screw bosses or anything like that. But when I get ready to pull these off, which is really kind of now, I'm going to see that these are broken in here. You can tell. You can look right along here. See, this one's broke, and so is this one right along the top. So I don't know how broke they are, whether or not when I pull it loose it just falls off or what. Let's see here. We're going to see right now. Just going to turn. It's tight. I tightened all these up when I bought it because everything was loose. It's gonna turn. sure this will fall off several times. Why don't you guys hold that for me, would you? Thank you much. Oh yeah, I see that one moving over there already. Get you situated. Looking too good there. Yeah, I think it's completely broken off. The other side may not be. What I'll probably have to do is, once I get the engine tore down, where I can just put the case halves back together and set it over here, clean this up, and then tack these in with it bolted in. Otherwise, things may not line up. So that's what we'll do, I think. But for now, everything is gonna fall apart probably. That's a good. You've got to make sure that on these bigger bikes, especially, that you keep those engine bolts tight. If you don't, that's what's going to happen. And there may be others on this one too, I don't know. That's just what I've been able to see. Maybe more as we get to it here. Had a really beautiful morning here, but when the sun doesn't shine in the garage door anymore, things get a little cool, so I have to shut it back up. Everybody's getting anxious for warmer weather around here. We get a lot more cold than we get warm. So consequently, by the time spring gets here, everybody's pretty antsy to get out, and a lot of times it's a little bit too early. Cold anyway. Okay, see if I've got everything loose. I guess that's going to kind of hang in there, but they're both really pretty well severed. I think the only thing holding them is the fact that they're wrapped around that pipe a little bit, that tubing, frame tube. Can you see that there? Stay put. There we go. See there? And this one's the same way. Just the fact that it's wrapped around this when it was welded. It's the only reason it's still there. Get you back in here where you can see. Rust. Yeah, there, it might clean up. Hope so. think it may just clean up. Anyway, it's under the triple clamp if it doesn't, so it's not a big deal. But you just don't like to have it, you know, that's the thing. Alright. Pretty loose. Let me get a magnet. Try to see how many of those little balls I can capture. Can't believe I'm recording this so you can laugh at me. Yeah, there they go. I think I lost two of them. Hopefully I can locate them. One's on the table and one's on the floor. You say, well, they can't go too far. Yeah, they can. They're round and they're just going wherever they want to go. And this is another way here. These are going to fall down the tube, so you need to keep your hand on the bottom of the tube. One of them came through there. All right. Got them out. You just got to locate a couple of them. Well, at least it had the same bolt pattern. Can you believe I found both those little balls out of that steering head? Just what I said, one on the cart, one on the floor. I think this thing's going to have to come off. Take the wheels off, I think. All right, let's see if we can get the frame disconnected from the swing arm here. Oh, it's got a little moisture in it. There she comes. A little noisier than I wanted, but we got it off. Well, there we have it, guys. The TS250 stripped down, and now we're getting ready to start on probably on the frame first and the swing arm, and just kind of the same way I did the TC125. Get the frame back together, get the wheels changed out. I don't think I need to change the front one, but I'll probably have to take it off to plate the spokes. The back one needs rim change. But other than that, the engine I think is pretty solid. So we'll go in there, we'll make our measurements, and we'll see what we need to do there, if we need to bore or can get by just honing it and putting rings in. It doesn't sound noisy to me, so I'm hoping that that is what we can do. And the thing with the frame, let me get that back over here so maybe you can kind of see a little bit better. I just wanted to point out this, where it's broken here so bad. You can see this, and over here. So all that's going to have to be, we'll put the cases back together, and once we put the cases back together, then we can just bolt them back in. We don't need to put all the innards back in the case. We can put them in bare so we can kind of handle it, get it bolted in, and then TIG weld it back into place. I was just going to point out where the repair was on the kickstand right here. This is the back side. So this will get cleaned up, and then a weld all the way around it too, and also on the other side needs to be finished up. So that being said, hey, give me a subscription if you haven't already. If you have, thank you very much. Give me a thumbs up if you like the content, and thanks for going along on the ride. See you next video.